Here we are, Waddington Airshow. It started a bit. That's going to come over us. I'll pull back. Here it comes. He should just catch it when he comes right around again.
That's all the other players. Like if there's a big
confrontations that are going on around the world at the moment.
It's got a lot in there, that.
The two squadrons based here at Waddington are always pretty busy.
See if I can get closer. Oh, lost it, yeah? Where is it? Here it is.
Now, if you look at the front of the airplane, you can see a long tube that sort of comes out just above where the cockpit is. Just about every aircraft, apart from some training airplanes in the Royal Air Force today, are being in-flight refueled, and that's the in-flight refueling probe. So it's a classic way you can refuel airplanes. The British way is what's called probe and grade.
It's the same plane here.
And it can be refueled from Royal Air Force aircraft because we use the...
You might be coming round for a landing now, so...
Well, they're star stones.
Just keep an eye on him.
So the sort of primary reason for getting this particular airplane was sort of really coming towards the end of the Cold War, because it's all...
They're leaving the aircraft into a free fall of 120 miles an hour. The outside trackers will be tracking away at 180 miles an hour. So we're listening now to Nick Brookbank.
The guys are standing on the run. Waddington, we're coming to meet you.
Yes, sir, you hear what he said? 5 seconds. And they've left the aircraft into free fall at 120 miles an hour. The outside trackers will be tracking away from the main group at 180 miles an hour before tracking back into that main group again at 180 miles an hour when they rejoin. Yes, for all the children out there, these are real live supermen tracking across the sky at 180 miles an hour with their arms swept backwards as they turn back in now, tracking into that main body. There's 4 of them all holding hands so that they keep relative. Flight Sergeant Nick Brookbank's breaking off now, put his hand onto his deployment sequence, and he pulls his parachute and they all pull together. Now we listen to Nick Brookbank.
Back up the line to pick you up. Give us a 1255 and do building towards that guy. And that is me. Back on aircraft heading.
Right, they're all now making sure that their parachutes have worked okay. The sequence is operated in the correct manner. It's at this point they would get off of that main parachute if there was a problem and get onto the reserve parachute. But everything seems to look okay at this stage. Right, as they come in together, getting into that stack of the Royal Air Force forces. So that's Nick Brookbank telling them exactly what to do, turning left, turning right.
Turning right now. Okay, Waddington, here we go. Back to the target, have a look at this. Alternate split stack, now. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the aircraft heading. 5, 6, 7, 8. Coming back around to space, you guys. 9, 10, 11, 12. And rolling out the turn. Now, and sliding back on. Turn on first. Turning right, 90 degrees. Turning right, now, 90 degrees.
So that's how they do it.
Now, 12 on, now.
Easy peasy. Now this year they're flying different parachutes.
You can see the map is easier. You're too far away. These up on top of the stack. 180 degrees to the left. Turning left. Turning left. Now, 180. Round we go then. There's 90. Rolling up the third. Now. Okay, 90 degrees to the right. Turning right. Turning right. Now. Okay? Rolling up the third now. Alternate split stack. Alternate split stack.
Alternate split stack. Ladies, for all the ladies on the drop zone, this is our heart in the air for you. Yes, the Red Arrows can do it, but we do it without engines.
9, 10.
So ladies, this is specially for you. Our heart in the air. Come on, give them an applause, ladies and gentlemen. They can hear you. Come on, Waddington, let them know that you want them to land here safely and you appreciate what they're doing. These are the parachute jump instructors of the #1 parachute training school.
All the way around, 9, steady. 290. On that turn now. On a thumpy day. Yeah, we can see you down there.
Come on, give them a cheer. And I will introduce them to you as they land here at Waddington. Yes, the man with the white smoke, one of the most advanced parachutists in the Royal Air Force today, has over 4,500 parachute descents. Flight Sergeant Nick Brookbanks from Bury in Lancashire, landing first, guiding the team down to land in front of the VIP enclosure. Following him down is Sergeant Steve Davis from Chirk in North Wales in his 3rd year. Followed by Sergeant Russ Murphy from Ipswich in his 3rd year. Sergeant Guy Clark from Lancaster in his 2nd year. Sergeant Dave Newton from Stoke-on-Trent in Staffordshire, again in his 3rd year. Sergeant Mike Maguire from Nottingham in his 1st year. Sergeant John Case from Plymouth in Devon, the last to land. Ladies and gentlemen, what an absolute wonderful display that was. Nick Brookbanks actually giving you a commentary on the way down. So put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them a really, really wonderful welcome here at Waddington today. Now what we're doing is we're waiting that 1 minute and 1 mile away from the drop zone to land here safely in front of the VIP tent. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll embarrass the team because I like to say that they are truly the top guns of their trade. They are the best of the best. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Royal Air Force Falcons of the year 2006.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, well, you can see C-130 just coming into land on the left. We will actually not only be seeing that getting airborne on route Brighton Norton, but later on in the show we'll be seeing a tactical demonstration by actually another C-130 that's already here. So this is the C-Mark 5, the shorter version of the new J model. There is a stretch version which is a quarter clover. The Red Arrow here is flying the Hawk. The aircraft upside down, so pushing out of this top horizontally. That was a Derrick turn. Again, we'll be seeing lots of Derrick turns. Pushing manoeuvre again, there's positive G when you pull the aircraft, push it back to the seat. The front, but the student of course feels that he's in a single-seat airplane, which is ultimately probably one of the best feelings you can ever have as a pilot. Hawk's been a very successful airplane. It's been sold all around the world. Probably one of the biggest successes was to actually sell the Hawk to the Americans as training for their naval aviators. It's called a Goshawk with the Americans. Quite significantly modified. For instance, it's got a tail hook, so you can land the aircraft on a carrier, strengthen the undercarriage, because you then use the catapult to shoot it off to get airborne. It's still basically a Hawk. Outside of that barrel line on the side, out of the 45 degree Eventually he applied for and got the job with the FA Buckley's, and was with them he learned the art of formation and display flying. And to quote Martin, being able to fly is a gift, but being able to make a living from displaying an aircraft with a beautiful girl standing on your top wing is just unfair to us pilots.
Well, I never heard him say it.
She's a little girl. She's recently completed a college course and is all set for a career in the airline industry as a cabin crew. And she says one day she'd love to organise air shows. Canberra first fully warm. designer was WEW Teddy Petter. Part of the team was a guy called Rolly B. Beamock. He was an Air Force Wing Commander, so it was sort of developed by the civilian organisation, but with a lot of RAF input. Or it was given the name Canberra, because at that time the RAF tradition was to name bombers after cities, and it was named by Rock Menzies at RAF Biggin Hill. First Squadron, 101 Squadron, based at RAF Bimbrook, that formed up on the 25th of May 1951, hence 55 years of service to the Royal Air Force. Sort of a bubble type canopy. Then they started uprating the engines against all the pressure of the VI5 and the VI6. Uprated reconnaissance airplane, he nearly was going down.
Lynx helicopters.
They're also steering the Lynx. So, the Lynx pitches his nose down to recover in a very uncomfortable reverse hang. It's like driving over a humpback bridge in reverse. Now he soon climbs up to about 900 feet. Good opportunity to appreciate the real power available to the Lynx. But it takes something else to show you its agility. Some aircraft, some helicopters could do 270 wing overs. Some could do loops, but only the Blue Eagles Lynx backflips. Now that maneuver is unique, totally unique. It takes a special aircraft to do it. It's a great noise.
What borders are over there then?
Yeah.
So another good photo opportunity. Again, if one of the gazelles drops a little bit too soon, probably means he had too much breakfast. So the gazelles run out as the Lynx returns over their heads. Not for a 270 wing over this time, but blink or you'll miss it. The far more brutal eagle roll. So Lynx now runs out to position on the centre line for another Lynx stunt. Will fly a figure of 8 across the ground, trying to evade the faster, more powerful Lynx. So they weave, they use that better visibility. And you'll see the Lynx climb higher here and use its weight to dive off with the power and try and snap at their heels. Like a hover, but of course there's probably a 10 to 15 knot wind up there. So actually these helicopters are flying in that wind. And it's only their skill which makes it look to us like a hover. They're actually going south at about 15 knots as far as the wind is concerned. So the gazelles dip their noses in salute dive off to the left. And there is the Lynx running back in for its final loop and tail turn. Last opportunity to capture on camera the Lynx doing this remarkable manoeuvre. And again, because of that wind, the Lynx just hangs in that loop. Makes it easier.
The Canberra, we actually sold the Canberra to the Americans. A version of this has been sold to the Americans, and it's going to be what we know as Marine One, which actually is a presidential helicopter. That's correct. The American president supports release 23 of these to replace his Asian-seeking fleet. So that's all kind of one up for the moment. Very much a coup for British industry. Making kind of interest. When the undercarriage is down, it seems to have an excess of wheels. Has it got an excess? Because the Navy one actually only has sort of single axle wheels as such. That's correct. The Navy, the Mark 1 bridge has a single wheeled undercarriage, whereas ours is a twin. I think it's just the operations that we both do are completely different to each other. So presumably you can land on sort of softer surfaces when you're out in the middle of nowhere supporting the army. Yeah, I think we're probably on rougher terrain sometimes, and having that second wheel is very handy. Inside the fuel.
It's huge.
When you left the Nimrod used to be displayed where virtually the whole of the underside opened up as a massive bomb bay, you probably noticed that their bomb bay was open, kind of little guy. Still, there you go. As I say, farm number 5 Squadron was formed in 1941, and we see now that the undercarriage is down, and he's going to do a dirty orbit. Flown today by Squadron Leader Andy Nielsen. Flight Lieutenant Aaron Benson is the co-pilot seat, the navigator on board, Flight Lieutenant Mark Whiteside, and today's flight engineer, Flight Sergeant Dick Gillies. Jules Stoller is also on board. They're not carrying full crew at the moment. Lots of the wet and dry operators, as the people who operate the sonar are known, obviously aren't on. Typically consists of 12 people, carrying maximum complement of 21. Okay, you can see that dirty orbit, the last thing to disappear there. Oh no, the undercarriage is still down. Storm doors closed. There are actually 10 positions for stores out on the wings. You carry anything from a million square kilometres that they cover. Coming in now from the right for a dirty pass, you can see the gear down. Clear view of the mad anomaly detector at the back. So they operate by jet example. The most recent one was the cyclone, which actually in that part of the world is called a cyclone. In the Caribbean it would be called a hurricane. That hit the Cook Islands and Samoa. As he pulls a 10G pull-up. There we go. See the phenomenal rate of climb, an amazing rate of roll. And let's see just what he does at the end there. At the top there, he's using the torque of that engine for a torque roll to keep the aircraft rolling. And if you saw Will flying here last year, you may well think he seems to be a lot higher on that manoeuvre than he was last year. The reason for that is last year he owned 60 horsepower. This year his engine is operated for 525 horsepower, which makes it the most powerful Sukhoi 26 in the world. So Will be using that amazing power to superb effects in the display he's going to present to us now. So rolling on the horizontal, then pulling up for the vertical once again. Watch out for the vertical slow roll to the left, and then a torque roll to the right. Here we go, using that, keeping those rolls going, then levelling out to pull up as if to loop the loop, but this is a half cubit, which is a loop with a difference. Spacing 4-point hesitation roll on the horizontal, there before pulling up, arcing over skywards, but instead of completing the loop, He tumbles the aircraft nose over tail in a manoeuvre called a roulage. Now, in previous years, we have actually been able to speak to Will in the cockpit and have him talk us through the manoeuvres as he does them. Unfortunately, the Civil Aviation Authority deemed that...
Now that he puts it onto knife edge, there's a knife-to-knife flick roll. And the secret of success in a flick roll is to make sure the aircraft is coming out of the manoeuvre in the same direction as it was when it first went into it. Now as Will hits the vertical, watch out for the vertical flick roll. There it goes. And another gyroscopic manoeuvre at the top. Now coming back into the centre, Will perform one of the more difficult manoeuvres of his routine. A rolling loop is a very difficult manoeuvre to fly. Will is actually flying the rolling loop, during which he loops the aircraft and rolls 4 times while he does it. Pulling and pushing, +7 and -7G. The cockpit a flurry of arms and legs during this manoeuvre.
Harriet.
Okay, pitching out onto the floor. Way, carry sidewinders, that's for self-defense there. Air-to-air missiles, heat-seeking missiles.
Undercarriage is burnt. They're very good. Spitfires. Here we go, here we go.
he's making a very low pass, so he's landing. It's a plane.
An aeroplane. Look over there, Dad.
He didn't think about taking off. His landing gear's down, I think he's coming down here. We'll lose him in this aircraft tail. And cockpit. Lost him totally. Camera at that.